Hello and welcome to Wyverns and Weirdos, a D&D podcast set in the world of Fierlor. Do we have any plugs? And it occurs to me that I do not remember when this episode is coming out. So any general ones as we start? The usual ones are the Patreon and the Redbubble. If you want to support the show, get some dope shit. I think Eddie's off to potentially grab some stuff from the Redbubble. Yeah.
Get on the Redbubble, y'all. I have a really cool, look at this. Look at this. I also got a hoodie and it's really good quality. So please order from our Redbubble. It's amazing. I was about to say for all you audio listeners, just look in the link, but you won't hear this.
Yeah, and I hope the future is treating you all well when this episode comes out.
Yes. In the 12th of April, mid-April.
Happy Easter.
Oh, that's
If
my
you
brother's
celebrate.
birthday.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Chris.
All right. There may be sometime this month another announcement video discussing future projects and other stuff. I just need to get my butt into gear with at least one of these projects, if not a couple of them. Is there anything else people have to plug? Well, in that case, let's jump into another episode of Wyverns and Weirdos. So, when we last left off, the party did what they do best. Wallow in self-pity and misery in the aftermath of a reasonably successful battle. The party are all off in their separate places. Rook and Anya are off in the woods. Kaya outside of Deasil. Caius is somewhere else outside of Deasil, while Ross and Neumann are underneath the entry to the attic, where Bertie is giving him a bit of a talk. So where we're gonna jump to first, Anya and Rook as they make their way back to the tavern.
So I guess as they start making their way back, I can imagine it probably starts off in a comfortable silence, with just the dispose of this dead body. Beautiful evening. It's been a long night. We're probably both a bit tired.
Yeah.
I believe Rook is still in her tattered prisoner garb because
Yes.
she did not reclaim her clothes from Zach.
Anya's covered in blood. Hers and the other, hers and Zach's. But after a little bit of walking, Anya, she turns to Rook and she's like, I have a favor to ask, if that's okay.
Yeah, what is it? Of course.
Tomorrow, I was planning on training Ross, but I think maybe everyone needs to be together. You heard me mention to Caius earlier, but I would really appreciate. Well, if I'm honest, having someone there who might even be in my corner. I don't necessarily know whether the others are going to hear what I have to say. So.
They not used to taking criticism? Is that what's going on? Or?
It's a lot has been different since you've been gone. Ross and Caius, they're good, like it's good that they are here, but the more people that are here, the more messy things get. And the more voices that are trying desperately to shove over each other, the less that anyone's being heard. So I guess tomorrow might be my turn.
Yeah, I know what that's like. I mean, my time in the mercenary troop, you kind of got to have your strict roles and your strict leadership to avoid those kind of problems that happen in any group. So, yeah, if you want me to back you up, or since I think you might be a bit of a leader, I'm happy to do that.
She looks a little bit ill almost at the idea of being a leader, and she shakes her head a little and she's like, I don't. In the groups I've traveled with before, it's been very different. While none of us were trained, it was what we did. And so we learned each other like a second language, and it's been a hard adjustment. And I don't want to lead, but I do want to be listened to. And honestly, I thought before that it was because of me. And don't get me wrong, it is. But I thought that I did not have anything to offer. I did not have anything worth saying that they would listen to. But the further we go on, the more I realize that I might be the only one who really knows what we're walking into. And I think they need to hear exactly what that is, for better or worse. But I don't know if they'll like it.
Oh, I think you're thinking about this in a good way. Not everyone chooses to be a leader, but people need leaders, so I think you can put your experience to good use. Yeah, I'll be happy to be there and support you if that's what you want from me. Of course. And I think this party could do with some training from what I've seen, although I don't know if I really want to be going around telling people what to do.
I'm just tired of band-aids. Training Ross on her own, that's a band-aid. Telling Caius to listen to Bertie is a band-aid. It's all just these tiny fixes we're doing, hoping everything will mend itself. But sometimes you need to gather the herbs and put together a paste and slather that on every morning until the skin can heal again. So, yes, I would appreciate having someone who won't immediately dismiss me.
Of course, I think you're strong and you're doing wonderful things that we have to go up against. And with this kind of ragtag group of people, I think you can do it. I believe in you. I guess thank you for telling me and trusting me with your concerns as well. I do gotta kind of say as well, I'm having a bit of trouble again with the walking, and you're looking a little bit bloodied as well. I think we really need to find a healer as well.
I will be fine after some rest. Most of the blood is not mine, but I do think that we should head back to the tavern. I do not sleep much, but I need to touch base with some of the others before bed.
Yeah. And yeah, you get yourself a stitch or two as well. I think I'm gonna need that as well. You can't lead anyone if you're not in good health yourself.
This is true, but well, I've been living with pain every day for 20 years, so I can deal with a little more. It's okay.
Can Rook roll an insight check or like an intelligence check to be like, does Anya have chronic pain? Or what? Huh?
I mean, she's magically blind.
Yeah, it's a reasonable assumption.
She means emotional pain. I don't know whether the insight roll.
I rolled a 2.
Whatever you think is going on, that's what's going on.
That's fair. Rook's like, oh no, of course, I'm sure you'd be used to it. But yeah, I'm happy to help any burden.
Thank you, Brooke. And I really do think that having you here will be really, really good as well. Not just for, well, I think it will, and I know that obviously I don't know the full story, but being from a tribe, a family, a group of people that work together, whether blood related or not, you would understand the ways that we need to work. So I think,
yeah, it's good to be around people again. Yeah. All right, let's get back. Let's get fixed up.
The two of you make your way back to the tavern. Meanwhile, back with Bertie, Neumann, and Ross.
Yes, the depression corner. Hello. So, from where we left off, I believe Bertie just had a very big monologue about his feelings, and then tried to play it off, and Ross apologized for none of us paying him any attention. So, I guess in the wake of that, she says that second "I'm sorry." And I would like to insight check Neumann to see how he's taking all this information in.
I mean, it's yeah, you can roll if you want. Let's see how far deep you look.
Yeah, 12.
12. Neumann has like a look of like regret.
Okay. she's gonna... Because I think she's been holding Newman's hand like this entire time. So I think she's just gonna like shuffle a bit closer and just lean a shoulder into his and then just kind of wait to see if either he says something or Birdie says something.
Neumann is going to withhold saying anything.
Alright then. Well, I guess depending on how long the silence goes on, there'll be some pointed silence from Brady and be like, oh, well, anyway, sorry about all that. That was pretty heavy for 10:30 at night or whatever time it is. I've kind of lost track, so, yeah, lots of things to think about, but, well, thanks for raising that. I've got a lot of stuff to think about myself, it sounds like. Yeah.
I mean, if you ever want to talk about it, Birdie, you can... I know everyone says this and then they don't check up on each other because we all keep doing that and it keeps causing issues, but really, if you want to talk, even if it's just about stupid stuff to get it off your chest, I know I'm happy to do that, and I think Neumann would be too.
He, like, aggressively nods.
Neumann is aggressively nodding. I don't know if you can hear that on the earrings.
I can picture that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, I appreciate that. I'll have to take you up on that. It's,
Yeah.
don't talk enough to the right people, I guess. So I appreciate that. And I really appreciate you two coming to check up on me. It's, you didn't have to do that, but I appreciate it. So thank you. And, yeah. Lots of stuff to think about.
Yeah.
And
Well,
I guess, circling back to the question earlier, yes, I am afraid to see Caius again, but you know, that's, I'll take a moment with that. It'll be fine. It's, just gotta take a moment.
Do you want one of us there when you do see him again? Because I can turn invisible if you don't want him to know, but you want like a bodyguard. I can be your bodyguard. It's okay.
Oh, bodyguard, boy! No, it's fine. I'm sure we'll have to go to have breakfast tomorrow or something, so it'll be fine. Yeah, it's cool. Just try to be more honest, you know. But
that's-
it'll be fine. It's cool.
That's good. That's good, Betty. Thank you. I guess you're not coming down tonight, are you?
No. I don't think it would be a good idea if I do. But tomorrow, as I said, I'll be fine. So, yeah.
Okay.
I think I'd better stay up here. If that's okay with all you guys.
Yeah, no. You don't have to seek approval. I'll just go grab some blankets. It'll be fine.
Oh. Well, yeah, true. That's a good idea. Then if an assassin comes and attacks in the middle of the night, then you can just knock on the attic, and then I'll sort it out. So that'll be good. We promised, Neumann.
Do assassins come in the light? I thought that was just Caius. Do assassins come a lot for you guys?
Technically, yes. It was pretty much just me, but now it's Caius, so you know. But that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's cool.
You guys really haven't told me a lot about what happened in this party before I came here, but you know what? We're gonna roll with it.
Yeah, it's just kind of disaster after disaster, pretty much. It's too much to talk about, sister. Yeah.
Well, if you two want to keep talking, I'm gonna go grab some pillows and blankets. Cool. And then she's gonna like look at Neumann and be like, don't upset him.
Neumann just gives you like this panicked stare, like, Don't go.
Before
But he's
she
not going to
leaves,
stop you.
before she leaves, she is gonna prestidigitation a little sparkle for him to play with, but also she's gonna like, with 2 fingers, she's gonna point at her own eyes, point at the pie, point at Neumann, and then like slice her hand across her like don't you fucking dare, and then she's gonna run off to go get blankets and pillows for the 3 of them.
Yeah, so you grab that. You
Would
Does
she run
Neumann-
into?
does Neumann do anything in the intervening time, or does he?
Yes. Yes. So he's going to. I mean, Laura, let's be honest. There's going to be awkward silence.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's totally going to be awkward silence.
Very awkward silence.
Neumann will put down whatever he's holding, and he's going to be looking at that pie. He's going to be looking at that delicious pie, steaming. I'm hoping still, actually, but it's sort of hard to see with the lighting at the moment. So Neumann is actually going to get his hand and slowly bring it over the pie. And then with his hand, he's just going to flip his hand around to the back of his hand just above the pie and see if it's still warm. I'd imagine the pie is still warm.
Yeah.
Well,
it's
that
not-
is
it's
great.
not hot, but it's warm.
Well, this is actually really good news because Neumann is just now going to say, the pie's still warm. If you want some, the pie, berries,
Oh,
your favorite.
yeah, how about you cut us a slice and I'll reach out and grab it. I don't want to come out at the moment.
Yep, no, that is a-okay. Neumann like goes through all of his stuff because he doesn't really have anything to cut the pie. Did this bar give us utensils for this pie, or
No.
did they just give us a pie in its casing?
There
Full
would
stop.
be
That's it.
like your pie server, like you know the thing. It's like doubles up as both a knife and like your triangular spatula type thing.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Newman's
Sure,
gonna
it's
take
got a
that
proper
then.
name, but
And he's just going to. Oh god, do we even have plates? Oh my god. Newman is like he takes it, he cuts it, and now he just like absolutely regrets it because he has no way to serve this to Bertie or anything like that. So he's like, look, can I just? I don't have any plates. It's napkins. Do you have
By
something
this
up
point,
there?
but like by this point, the hatch has opened up a little bit, so he's like, Bertie's just like peeking his eyes through. He's like, oh my god. Okay, hang on, and he's gonna cast Mage Hand, and like make his little Mage Hand come down, and then hold it out for the pie.
Newman gives you the whole pie.
I can't eat the whole pie, Neumann.
Oh,
I don't really feel like eating.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. No. And then yeah, he sort of like doesn't know what to do. Do you want me to pick it up with my hand and put it in your mage hand, or can it like phase through the pie and grab it? He's sort of really conflicted about what he's doing. Like he half puts it towards the mage hand, half takes it back. And what he'll do is he'll just quickly grab it and plop it in the mage hand.
Okay, cool, peachy. Thank you very much. Okay, and then he like shoots little mage hand back up into the hatch, and it slaps shut.
it's probably at about this moment that Ross gets
Yeah.
back with the.
Unless she ran into either Caius, Rook, or Anya on the way. Because she would have. Okay, so the order of operations was she went back to the girls' room. She grabbed her pillows and blankets. Then she went into the boys' room. Was like, oh, Caius isn't here. Fascinating. And then grabbed pillows from what she assumes were Neumann and Bertie's beds, based on like packs. And then just has this huge pile of like Manchester and. So if she runs into anyone, they're probably going to see just a pair of little legs and a tail behind a pile of pillows.
Okay. Well, let's see. What is Caius doing?
So Caius has run off into the forest. He's having his little mental breakdown, and then he's slowly meandering his way back in through the streets. Yeah, that's probably all he's doing outwardly. So he might take a little bit of time to get back.
Okay.
Okay.
You would probably just catch as you're on your way back, probably line up with Anya and Rook returning.
Caius would wait in the
Or
distance.
when Ross returning with the blanket, sorry.
Anya, as like her and Rook walk in, I can imagine they can probably see Ross's pillow/blanketed form carrying things up the stairs, I'm guessing. Anya, she turns to Rook and she's like, I need to talk to Ross. Are you going to be okay on your own?
Yeah, sure. I'll have a look for any healing or something.
I know that the tavern masters are kind. They are to be trusted. Bertie knows them, so anything you need, they will give you. Just let them know you're with us.
All right. I'll be doing that. Okay.
Anya, she doesn't flag Ross down. She follows Ross quietly and stealthily, just to sort of see what is happening.
Okay. Well then, she's going to see Ross struggling up the stairs, and then go all the way up to the attic. Dump all of it on the floor, kind of next to Neumann. Immediately look at the pie, and just silently just look at him, and just be like.
You'll also notice
Like
that
taps
he-
her ear and like turns off her like.
You also notice he has pie on his head.
Yep. So she like taps her ear and turns off her connection to the little group chat. She goes, Neumann, what did you do? Neumann, I told you not to eat the pie. That's for Birdie.
Neumann is like, but no, I didn't. And he's like stuttering. He can't seem to get any words out, but he's like pointing at the pie, and he's trying to do this gesture where he like put it into someone's hand. So he's like, and he points up to the attic.
Did you? Wait, so you gave it to Birdie?
And he just aggressively nods. I thought Birdie might be hungry, but I did
Okay.
have a taste, and it's very good.
As long as Birdie was okay with it.
It's at that point, Anya, discovering that everyone who she wanted to speak to is there. She kind of ducks out from around the corner stairwell, and she's like, hello? Ross, Neumann?
Ugh.
But
like,
I'm not
startles.
sure if you can hear me from up there.
Yeah, hi.
Okay. Neumann, Ross, I think that you both should come to training tomorrow.
Oh,
Okay.
sure. I've never been training with you before. I think that'll be good. Something new.
At 6 in the orchard, Ross, There are some things that you and I need to talk about, but not now. Okay?
Okay. And Ross is gonna kind of walk over and like playfully kind of tap Anya's shin with her tail and just lean in and go, "Told you I'd talk you down from 5." And just smile.
She laughs a little bit, but she's like, she then sort of very covertly whispers to Ross, like, this is not why we are doing 6.
I figured.
She then turns back to sort of Neumann and the attic where Bertie is, and she's like, do you two mind going and checking on Rook for me? It's been a bit of a fight for her, and she's alone at the moment, so... She gives like a look.
Sorry, my internet patched out. Are you looking at like Neumann and Ross?
Yes. Yeah. And she's basically saying, go see Rook for a bit, please.
Ross like looks at Neumann, looks up at the attic, waits to hear if Bertie sends anything through on the earrings before responding.
Okay, so Bertie messages Ross, I guess, and he's like, what does Anya look like she wants?
Looks at Anya.
Roll
I'm
it.
guessing that's an insight check.
I'm not the DM, but roll an insight.
Yeah. Insight.
Neumann, are you also looking for insight, or are we doing separate insight checks? I don't know.
Would Neumann
I-
be looking?
Nah, you can. I guess we can just do it together, surely.
Okay. That's a 13 for Ross.
Okay. What would Ross glean from a 13?
I guess from a 13, you can tell that she's not upset, and that she's a lot sort of... Earlier tonight, when you last saw her after the fight, she, especially with you, Ross, you felt like she was quite irritated by everything that had gone on. She's a lot softer now, but with a 13, you wouldn't be able to glean exactly what she's wanting to talk about.
Yeah. Okay. She's gonna like tap her ear, which is entirely unnecessary, but she does it anyway. Like her right ear has the earring, and she's just gonna be like, I don't know. Doesn't look bad though.
Okay, cool. Well, yeah. I heard her say she wanted you guys to check up on Brooke. I think that's probably a good idea. Again, yeah. Who knows what happened to her back then?
Alright.
I'll be fine.
Alright, well, okay.
So the two of you go off to find Rook, leaving Anya to speak to Bertie.
Yep.
So once the others have gone down the stairs, Anya sort of looks at all the blankets and pillows around, and then looks at the door to the attic and the pie on the ground. And she, in one hand, grabs the pie, and in the other makes for the door, and she says to Bertie, she's like, Bertie, I'd like to come up, please. I know you probably don't want that, but I'd rather see you.
It'll be fine. No, you don't have to come up in here, do you? Why do you need to? Why? And he will like open the hatch up a little bit and like peek out, just his eyes.
She looks up at him, and she sighs, and she's like, Bertie, please.
Now, remind me, Laura, because Birdie's eyes do shift color on occasion.
They
what
do.
color eyes does Anya see?
So it's still like the galaxy kind of like reflect, and it's like reflective, I suppose, but Anya could probably see to some degree. They are green. Yup. I don't want you coming up here right now, Anya.
Okay. Why?
I don't have to give a reason. I just don't want that. It's fine, don't worry, I'm not hurt, so it's all cool. I'm all patched up, so it's fine. So, don't worry about that. I am a healer after all.
Bertie, I'm coming up. And she's going to attempt to climb up, high and all.
Okay.
Strength dexterity check? What check would that be?
Whatever you want me to roll.
He's gonna try and hold it down.
I guess it would just be an opposed strength check.
Oh no. Okay. It's a 6.
That's a 14. I'm sorry, Anya has a bad strength as well.
Oh.
So you muscle your way in there, Anya.
Yeah, so I guess she sort of shifts the hatch aside, and first you see this pie missing a slice being placed up, and then you see Anya sort of hoist herself up. Does she see anything different, or is it the attic? I suppose she's never seen the attic before, so what would she?
So Bertie would have been kind of thrown back as she pushes up the hatch. And he has scrabbled behind there's a whole bunch of boxes, I guess. It's a very small attic, quite a low roof. It's if Anya were to stand up, it would be quite she might have to stoop a bit. It'd be fine for Bertie, but he is kind of, there's just lots of boxes everywhere. I guess from her cursory glance, there's a big window at the far end, which you can kind of see the orchard out on, but it's quite dark, obviously, so it's just stars. It's very dark in there. It's also very cold in there. Yeah, and Bertie has popped behind some of the just lots of crates and stuff like that, I guess. There are the braces that he was wearing are all scattered around there, as well as bandages and lots of just different practical healing type things. And the pie is sitting on a little napkin that is pink, so it's probably his own.
Anya, she picks up the pie, and without peering over the crates and stuff that Bertie is hidden behind, she places the pie just on top of it. And then she turns away, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm just gleaming this from art that you've done, Laura. There's a triangular window up there.
Yeah, there is, yeah.
So she stands at the window and she looks out into the night, and she's like, I won't look at you, I guess. I don't know
Good.
what's going on, but I needed to know that you were the only one in that fight who is still there. And I am so worried about how that has hurt you, Bertie. I won't ask if you're okay, because that's a stupid question, but I'm sorry. I'm I'm sorry.
It's fine. It was a pretty tough fight, and well, I talked about it a bit with Ross mostly and Neumann, and it's cool. I'm just a bit bummed how I did in it, I guess, but and the other stuff, well, that's just I got some ideas from some spells, so I'll probably try and sort something like that out so it doesn't happen again. So yeah, you were pretty dinged up too. I noticed you were pretty much in the fray for most of it. You usually shoot with your bow, but you were, well, I can understand it was pretty personal for you. So
I did what I had to, and I'm sorry that meant I couldn't help you when you needed it. Are things with him going to be okay? With you?
with Caius?
Of course.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, he likes not talking about it, about anything like that, so it'll be fine. It'll be cool. Yeah, it'll be fine.
If he did come to speak to you, would you take it?
Ross mentioned she saw him crying when he was talking with you and Rook. Was that about anything in particular? Or just his life in general? Because understandable.
You know it's not my place to say, but I don't think he's okay with how he hurt you, Bertie. And I think that's a conversation for you and him to have, but I do not think it would have done either of you well for it to happen tonight.
Yeah, you're probably right. You're probably right. Yeah. No, that's, yeah, sure. Yeah. It's cool.
What time do you plan on waking tomorrow?
That depends on if I sleep. I do have some bottles saved up, so you know.
I do hope that you will, but if I send Caius your way in the morning, it will be early. Is that
Yeah, okay. If he wants to come, sure. Yeah. What time are you thinking of?
4.
4 o'clock! Yep. Okay, well, yeah, sure. If he comes, I'll be ready.
If it were any of the others, I would not worry about how early, but I would worry rather about how early, but Caius trains. So
It's true.
it's really only an hour earlier than what he would be used to. And I think I'm getting ahead of myself. Will you come to training tomorrow?
The training you were gonna do with Ross and Caius.
I have invited the others because I think it's after today. I think it would be better if we learned how to fight as a team.
I agree. I think that would be good. I think we haven't really talked about that ever since we've been traveling together, so I think that would be good for everyone if they're gonna stay. Yeah, I think that would be a really good idea. Yeah, no, I think that'd be good. Sure, I'll be there. Okay. So down the floor to your left, is my armor. Could you either take that down to my foster dad's, or to Ross? I think she can clean stuff. There's some blood on it, so that would be awkward to have training.
I was I'm not sleeping for a while, and I have mine to clean as well. So it's okay. I can do that.
Oh, cool. Well, let's make a deal then, okay? In exchange for that, I don't want you to turn around, okay, Anya? I know you're very perceptive, but I don't want anyone to look at me right now, okay?
Anya sits down and she actively closes her eyes.
Okay.
And she's facing out the window.
All right. So as lightly as Birdie can, I guess, he'll get up. And he'll very carefully, tread over to where Anya is, and he's going to touch her shoulder, and he's going to heal her. Hang on. He's going to cast 5th level Cure Wounds. So he's going to heal her for...
5d8 plus 5.
I did it on D&D Beyond. It is 31 points of healing.
She's back up to full,
Yeah.
and I'm very emotional.
I would imagine there is a slight chill to the touch.
Yes, his touch is very cold. And I'll just roll a d20. It was an 11, so it's fine. Yes, his touch is very cold then. He just kind of like lingers for a moment and then kind of takes his hand away. And then kind of goes back to sulky in a corner, I suppose.
Thank you, Bertie. I do have one other favor to ask, I guess.
Yeah.
Can I take a slice of this pie for Neumann? Because I feel like he's going to be insufferable if he doesn't get some. Do you... I can get them not to stay down there if they're being imposing.
No, it's nice, I think. And besides, that also means there's some rooms free, and I know I'm sure you and Rook have a lot to catch up on. Did you notice in the fight, actually, quick question, she was using magic?
Yeah, I did not want to address it yet because I feel like, well, with magic like how you and I both suddenly got magic, it might not necessarily be something she wants to talk about yet.
Yeah.
But yes, definitely noticed that, and that's definitely something.
Yeah. Well, no, I'd actually kind of appreciate it if they do want to sleep under there, because I'm gonna be up here anyway, so it'll be fine. Cool, yeah,
Oh.
Yeah.
I will make sure Caius is quiet.
Oh boy, yeah. But,
Unless I can tell him to meet you somewhere. If you would prefer.
if he wants to, we can meet at the lake outside, near the orchard. We were there yesterday.
I will let him know.
Cool. I'm sure it'll be fine. Awesome. Well, thank you, Anya. I hope you're feeling a little bit better. And yeah, just don't question this. I'm sure I'll be fine in the morning. So, yeah.
I don't know much about Eladrin, but I know a little about you, and I know that sometimes things get out of control when you're not okay, and that's okay, Bertie. And you only have to show who you want.
Yeah. Absolutely. Cool. Oh, and actually, a suggestion. So I put the pie on that little napkin over there. Why don't you take like another piece or two, like look like I've actually eaten a bit of it, and then you can take the rest down to Neumann and Ross, because I think like they don't feel like they should be able to eat it, because they think, oh, Birdie should eat as much as he likes. I don't feel like eating, but so put a little bit on there. and then pretend that I ate it all, being all depressed in the attic, and then they can have the rest. I'm sure you can sell it, Anya. I have faith in you.
I will cut another slice for you, and I will take the rest with me. And if they question it, they deal with me.
Sounds like a good deal. Thank you, Anya.
All right. So downstairs, Rook, where do Neumann and Ross find you?
I'll just scoot back a little in time to describe some prior things. So after Anya left, Rook was kind of just took a moment to think, looking a little bit lost, and then starts to kind of look around the tavern, and then I imagine she sees like a mirror along the wall or something, and she takes a look at her reflection, and she sees that she looks the worst that she's ever seen herself. She looks absolutely exhausted. Her flames seem a little bit dimmer. She looks down at her body and she's just wearing this ragged, bloody sack-like thing. And her hands, she looks down at her wrists and she sees that there are bruises around her wrists. And she just goes, a real warrior of my people, right? And she will slowly start to look for the main area of the tavern, going by the noise, looking very uncharacteristically timid for Rook. Before, when she gets to the entrance of the room, she's going to just take a moment and then pretty much just stretch herself to a full height, put on this tough, confident veneer, which she sometimes does have normally, and then just stride over to the front counter where I'm guessing Kieran or Corbin
Yeah, you see
if anyone's there.
Kieran working this time of night.
Nice. Okay.
It's been a while since I've done their accents, so this might be different than the last we saw them. But... Hello there. How can I help you?
Oh, hi there. She carefully tucks her hands away behind her back. Hey there. I'm a mercenary here. I came back from a mission, an infiltration kind of mission. It went a bit heads up, as I'm sure you can imagine. Well,
you look
I know
one
working person to another.
You look like you've been through something rough there.
Yeah, it wasn't a fun one, but it's all a day's work. I heard that you here are a friend of Birdie's? An acquaintance?
We raised him for a time.
Okay.
We care for him as if he were our own.
Nice, well, good on you. Well, I'm a friend of his, actually. I'm in the same traveling party. I separated.
We saw you hanging around him and his friends before.
Hopefully that will make this seem less suspicious. I was told to come to you and pop some back that I can, use as tab that the party will cover it. I can get you some cash myself. I don't know. I don't have anything in my. I don't exactly have any pockets to use at the moment.
Sorted. What were you after?
I was wondering if you have any change of clothes that are in the large around the shoulders, or any medical access, or could point me to somewhere where I can get them. I mean, this is a bit of a weird place for it.
Yeah, I don't think there's much open this time of night, and as you can probably tell by the look of me, he looks down on his quite short form of his halfling form. I don't think I've got something to fit a tall lass such as yourself. But there should be some good places nearby open come morning.
That's wonderful. That's entirely understandable. Sorry to
No.
impose on you. Or just
I
looks
mean-
pained.
I mean, I got an apron if that would help at all. But that's probably about the best I could offer you.
No, it's fine. I won't go taking the things that you need. Yeah. The morning sounds good. I'll have a nice shop.
All right. And if you're staying here, I'm sure we can throw another get another cot sorted for one of the rooms.
Yeah, that would be mighty useful, I guess. The room with
Probably,
fire in it,
yeah.
whatever works.
Probably about this point that Ross and Neumann find you.
Nice.
The entire way down, Ross was like, "Are you sure he only wanted like one slice of pie? Like only the one?"
Yes. He said that he definitely won't be able to eat it all. I left the pie there though, so if Bertie does want more, then they can just grab more.
I
Like,
just.
They-
I'm sorry if it seems like I'm like nagging you, Newman. It's just I'm really worried about him. Like we've had a couple conversations today, and I'm just really just worried about him.
I'm also very worried about Bertie, but I think the one message I got from, or the one thing I've really learnt today is that Bertie, we sort of need to give Bertie a little bit more. How can I put this? We got to trust in Bertie a lot more. We definitely have to be there for Bertie, but Bertie's like turning this new leaf, so I don't particularly want to get in the way and stop that and sort of act like I'm babying Bertie or anything like that.
I mean that's fair, but maybe he wouldn't have to turn over a new leaf if we'd treated him a bit differently.
But that's in retrospect.
Yeah.
Right here and now, we can only do with basically the present and what's happening right now.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Rook!
Oh, hi there.
Hi! Ross like comes barreling up to you and then like stops short and then it's like, I didn't say hi properly earlier. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm just trying to get lodging sorted and everything.
Oh,
Looks very uncomfortable.
you can, they're not making you pay, are they? Because I'm paying for everything.
Oh right, I think it's going on under some sort of tab.
Yeah. I'm the tab. Yes.
I was just saying to her that we can drag an extra cot into one of the rooms.
Oh, I'm not sleeping in there tonight. She can use. Wasn't there a third one in there anyway?
I cannot remember.
I think there was.
Yeah. There might have been. I can't remember what room we've got you set up in. But either way, either way, it sounds like it's sorted.
Cool. But yes, no, we didn't. Newman and I didn't get to really say hi properly earlier. There were many things and people and situations occurring.
It's fine. It seems to be quite a mess that y'all are in. It's understandable.
Yeah, you do look a bit beat up, don't you? And she's gonna 5th level healing words Rook,
Nice.
which is
Flinches.
5d4 plus 6, I believe.
yeah, I already had the dice, so 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I think that's 20 points of healing.
Nice. She looks a bit better.
Okay.
Oh, thank you. I needed that. I was just asking if there was any medical assistance. So I can probably patch up the rest now. Thank you.
Yeah, I know magical healing's like a bit weird, not everyone's into it, but someone should have done that far earlier on, and we didn't, so sorry about that again.
Yeah, that's fine. I think Bertie was the primary healer, and I haven't seen much of him, so...
She just looks at Neumann. Brooke.
Be alive?
Looks at Neumann.
Bertie's alive. Clearly just wants to be by themselves at the moment. We tried to talk to Bertie as much as possible, but it didn't really let us sort of talk too intimately. It was a very
We're working on it.
Conversation, yeah.
Yeah. I'm assuming. Oh no, you go. I'm talking too much. I'm so sorry.
It's all good. But yeah, we just had a big chat with Bertie about the stuff that happened, and I guess now that I've run into you, this is a perfect opportunity to talk to you about all the stuff that's happened. And I guess this is weird, but I thought I'd already caught up with you, but it wasn't you who I caught up with. So maybe we should start at square one again and sort of ask, how have you been? Because we really haven't had much chance to talk.
Yeah, I was wondering about that. I think I definitely want to know what exactly did Zath do? What did they do acting as me? And did they learn much? Did they hurt any of you? Maybe we should be having this conversation somewhere else.
Yeah, I mean, we can always go up to your room and show you where it is.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Cool. We can do... Have you eaten?
No, I don't know the last time I've eaten. Time is funny.
Neumann, if you want, you can take Rook up to the room and I'll sort out food.
Yeah, no, that's not a problem. All right, follow me. He sort of kicks his heels together and does sort of like a march towards the room.
Yeah. So for the sake of brevity, so Ross, you're easily able to sort out like a. It's nothing fancy. It's a bit late for the kitchen to be doing anything fancy, but it's a nice little kind of almost like a charcuterie board type thing, just bits and pieces thrown together. Cheeses and meats and the like. Neumann and Rook, was there anything you wanted to cover? Anya, you'd probably catch up with them as they were getting back to the room.
This is gonna be awkward because pie.
So Anya, she's got one arm full of Bertie's armor, and the other she's got pie in. And sorry, where exactly are we?
Probably just outside the room at the time.
The girls' room.
Yeah, the girls' room.
Yeah. Okay. Anya, she sees you all and she's like, oh, okay, good. And she, irregardless of where everyone is, she just sort of shoulders her way into the room, drops the armor, and then she turns to the rest of you all and she's like, hi.
Hey.
Huh?
No, I said pie.
Oh.
Oh.
Pie?
Ross says as she walks up with the charcuterie board.
then I guess Ross sees Neumann with pie in hand, like staring at it. Thank you.
What Anya does is, because I'm assuming by the fact that Neumann has the pie in his hands, he like immediately, as soon as pie was said, he was like, "Oh yes," and she grabs it back and she's like, "Just wait," and she pulls from somewhere like a cloth napkin. I'm assuming she'd have one just as part of her mess.
Yeah.
And she cuts off a piece of pie and she's like, I know you guys will be going back to the nest that you have set up. But feel free to take a slice of pie each. And if any of you say anything about how much pie is left, I have many daggers that would love to meet you. Okay?
Why are you threatening us?
Why do we need... As long as Birdie's eaten, like, a bit, that's okay.
Okay, good.
What is it with you and daggers? There's always daggers. No one back home has this many daggers.
Well, maybe if more people back home had more daggers, we wouldn't be in this position.
Are you... Ross, a part of her is aware that this is a joke, and another part of her gets so angry momentarily that she just gives the charcuterie board to Rook and walks upstairs.
Ross, I was talking about your training. Fucking okay. She turns to Neumann, who now has a handful of charcuterie.
No, Rook has the charcuterie board.
I got the cheese.
Okay, she passes the rest of the pie to Neumann. She's like, make sure Ross gets pie. Rook, I'll be back soon. I can watch over you while you rest. It's okay. I have armor to clean.
I'll try my very hardest.
And she only gone for a moment, and she just sort of ducks out into the hallway, ducks into the boys' bedroom, and just on the bed that she knows Caius uses, she just leaves that slice of pie on her little green cloth. And then she goes back into the other room. And she's like, you can go if you want, Neumann. Tell Ross I said sorry, though. It's been a long night. Okay. Are you okay?
Me?
I mean, yeah, this would have been the first... Sorry, I haven't even... This would have been the first time you were taken over since the Tanya's needle. Are you okay?
It's so like you to pinpoint the the biggest thing that's getting me worked up straight away. How do you see everything? It just, yeah, no, it's throwing me through a loop.
I'm not the best at this, but I'm trying. Is there something I can do?
No, it's something that I need to do.
You will come to training tomorrow, yes?
Oh yes, absolutely. I'm not looking forward to getting up that early, but I will absolutely be there. In whatever state I may be in.
Thank you.
So,
Let me know if there's anything else you need.
Yeah, absolutely. He gives you a salute, kicks his heels together, and does his little march into the girls' room.
Out of.
Oh, sorry. I thought we met on the opposite side of the door.
No.
Oh, okay. Well, I just turn. I do a 360 and walk back in then.
right.
Why?
Bye.
Aren't you going up with Ross to sleep under Birdie?
Yeah, didn't we meet at the
Sorry.
door of the room?
Logistics. What are they?
Or wherever he follows, wherever Ross went.
Oh,
Up to the
Okay.
attic.
I, Jay, clearly do not know where we are.
All right.
you know what?
Sorry.
Several circles before.
Where?
Like a
on the
cat
floor,
does.
I'm guessing below there.
Just
Yeah.
summarizing as people, like as we wind down for the evening. Yeah, so everyone goes where they're settling in for the night, settles into the night. Caius, what time do you get back?
Caius gets back probably early-ish in the relative scheme of things. But once he does get back, he goes into the room that he purchased earlier on in the evening. He's just going to spend a lot of time and probably give himself a headache writing a letter, which he's then going to go up to the boys' room and just very quietly try and knock on the door to get Birdie's attention.
You don't hear anything.
Birdie, if you're, I know you probably don't want to talk. I'm going somewhere else tonight, in the tavern, not like anywhere else. But I wrote a letter for you. I'll just pass it under the door. I hope you're okay. And he just slides a folded letter under the door. And then he just sort of stands at the door for a little bit and goes, have a good sleep. And then he's going to go to his room.
All right. So about what time does Caius go to sleep?
I don't know, what time would he have gotten home? Because that conversation was like at 10 or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, so it probably couldn't have been earlier than, say, 11.
Okay.
With everything that's
Okay.
gone on.
Yeah. Then yeah, it'd be 11, maybe
Alright.
20 past, half past 11
All right.
by the time everything finishes up.
Okay. So, yeah, the following morning, I believe, Anya, you were going to do a wake-up call for someone at about 4 a.m.
So Anya, well, the good news is, Kais is going to get a little bit of a sleep in, because Anya, she sort of creeps out of the room where Rook's sleeping. She does like a once-over just to make sure everything in the room is secure. And then she leaves the room quietly and she goes across to the quote-unquote boys' room. And she knocks gently on the door and she's like, Caius, I'm coming in. I hope that's okay.
You hear there is nothing inside.
Yeah, so she opens the door and takes a step and can hear a crinkling.
Yeah.
And she looks down and sees a bit of paper, which she picks up. And then she also looks forward and she sees the pie still on the bed and she's like, fuck. Okay. Now, the letter, did it have, like, to Bertie on it?
It is a folded piece of parchment,
Guys,
but like poorly folded.
she's gonna open that parchment, Caius.
Yeah. Would you like me to read you what it says?
Yeah.
It says, Hi, Bertie. I know I'm not meant to talk to you until tomorrow, but this is a letter, so it doesn't count. I'm sorry for hurting you. I didn't mean it, and I hope I didn't hurt you too bad. Thank you for being my friend, and I hope I'm still yours. And then the word respectfully has been written 3 times and crossed out in each like different spelling, and then it just reads Caius at the bottom.
She sighs and she folds it back up and she tucks it into like a little fold near her chest, and she searches for Caius's room. Now, Birdie's wards, they're not elves, are they?
No, but Corbin would probably be up at this point. They kind of stagger their rests so that they can.
Okay. She will. I suppose it would make sense for her to go downstairs first to look for Caius. And she'll do a quick scan of the room and see that he's not there, and then she'll go for. Sorry, I forgot which one it was.
Corbin.
Corbin. She goes up to Corbin and she's like, Corbin, sorry to bother you so early. Do you know where Caius might be?
Oh,
the big blonde
yes,
one.
Yes, of course. He got himself a separate room, and he gives you directions to Caius's room.
Yeah, okay.
You're able to find your way there fairly easily.
Yeah, so she goes there, and she knocks on the door. She's like, Caius. And she knocks a little bit louder. Caius.
There is a muffled snore coming from the door.
She knocks like a third time, like even louder, but trying not to disrupt the patrons. Does he awaken?
Nothing.
Okay. She lets herself into his room. Which she was more polite with Caius than she was with Birdie. Is she able to get into the room? Is the room locked or?
The room is locked. I don't know if Corbin gave you a key or not.
She is going to lockpick.
But yeah, you like roll.
That's a 26.
Yeah.
She never steals things.
These are good
she's
locks.
Very proficient in
these are good locks, but they're not impossibly hard to like pick. So yeah, you managed.
Also,
to get
she
it.
has a +10 to people, so like
You're a high-level rogue.
Yeah, she unlocks the door and quietly closes it, and she makes her way.
The door doesn't open.
Why?
There's something on the other side.
She sighs, and she grabs. She puts her hand out for Hafren to
Hafren
go from her
pops
shoulder,
up
and she's
right-
like, "I need you to be with me on this, and politely wake up Caius and tell him I want to speak to him.
All right.
Politely."
Will do.
Okay.
Will do. In your head, obviously, as
Yeah.
the raven form, quickly turns into a rat to squeeze in through the crack, and then Caius, you're awoken to an imp lightly poking at you.
So the poking wakes me up.
Wakey.
The closest sharp thing I have to me, I'm swinging it at whatever that is.
All right.
I assume it would probably be Cindernocked.
Would you be sleeping with Cindernock by your side?
I would after I got woken up by an
Fair.
assassin.
Fair.
Sorry, Darby, that's a silly question considering everything you've thrown at it.
roll an attack at disadvantage because you are prone.
Yep.
Also, because you got to bed late and you are in fact a human, you do have a point of exhaustion.
Yep. I also didn't take a long rest, if that means anything. Unless you want me to, but I'm assuming I didn't get enough.
I think, yeah, no, you wouldn't you wouldn't have benefited from the long rest.
That's 22.
22. Okay, yeah, that would hit.
That's fine.
How many hit points does Hafren actually have? It's not many, is it?
As an imp, he has more, I think, but I'll just jump in. No, he's only got 10.
Which I think is pretty much baseline damage. For...
Yeah, I deal...
He doesn't die, like, he just is
No.
not there.
28 damage.
Yeah, Hafren disappears, probably swears first.
Excellent.
He's
Do
like,
I
for
know?
fuck's sake!
Do I know that that was definitely Hafren, or has there been some sort of an imp-like creature which I
think-
stabbed and has vanished?
I think roll me an insight check. And this is a
Kyle's
disadvantage.
real good at those.
This is a
Anya,
disadvantage
feeling
because
Hafren
of...
dissipate, would be like, Caius, it's me, open the door.
Disadvantage was a 4.
So you have no idea what this imp was. You just know it was an imp that poked you awake gently, which seems odd for an imp, but it's not enough for you to put together that this was Hafren.
Yeah. Okay. Just giving myself exhaustion. Okay. So I hear Anya.
Caius, it's me. Can
What?
you open the door? There's
Um,
something in the way.
did you do that?
Put the thing in the way, or ask Hafren to wake you because something was in the way?
Oh, that was Hafren. Oh.
Oh, Caius.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
No, I didn't even think.
God.
You were just woken up by... And then I am so...
No, I'm so sorry. Hold on, let me, wait a moment. And I'm going to, move the, desk that I've put in front of the door out of the way.
She looks just... she looks at you and she's like mortified. She's like, I am...
Caius is
What?
also mortified.
Oh, I am so sorry. That was,
I can only apologize. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I mean, he did have it coming, but
he'll be fine. I can resummon him in like 10 minutes. He isn't, it's okay.
Oh, no, he's like, fine?
He's fine. It's okay. He's died in battle many times before. I think he probably knew this one was coming. It's okay.
Right.
And I did tell him to be polite, which poking you in the head isn't, so that's...
Well, yes, I guess.
I found this, and she pulls out the note and she's like, Bertie wasn't he didn't sleep in the room last night.
Do you know where he is? Is he okay?
Yes, I saw him before bed. I touched base with him. I am sorry, but I did read it. It didn't have a note on it.
The whole thing is a note.
That's a fair point, but the point is that I read it and I shouldn't have, so I'm sorry. However, and she sort of passes it out to you and she's like, I think maybe now might be the time for that chat. Not between you and me. We can
Now? What time? And I go up
probably
to
about 4:45.
I'm gonna go up to where I've moved the bed in front of the window and try and push that out of the way so that I can open up the curtains and see what time it is.
By any chance, is that window facing the lake?
Yeah, it probably would be.
You probably see Birdie down there. She's, and Anya sort of walks up behind you and she's like, he's waiting for you, Caius, to speak to you. I did tell him for, so he might be a little bit worried that you might come, but I know would understand if you didn't, but maybe you should talk to him.
Okay. Caius rubs his face. Right, yes, no, okay, I'll just get dressed then. And he sort of looks around for where his armor is stacked up on the room. Probably if you're looking as well, Caius didn't sleep in a bed. He slept like with his bedroll in the corner. His bed was propped up against the window.
She does not judge him for that or say anything. But she does. She does. Because you do. What's actually? Does Caius look worse for wear?
He definitely looks very tired, very out of sorts. He's got bags under his eyes, which you haven't really seen since like you guys met him again in Durham, and he had the curse.
But does he look injured?
Well, I mean, no.
No. Okay. Then she doesn't do what she was going to do.
There are a couple of cuts on him, but nothing exciting.
She's like, are you going to... Oh, actually, wait here. And she quickly rushes to the rooms and she grabs Bertie's armor and rushes back and she's like, can you take this to Bertie? And she reaches behind her to like one of the things on her belt loops and grabs the coin purse and she's like, I didn't get a chance to give this to him either to count, so
Okay. Sure, if you could just put that over in the corner. I'll just quickly get changed, then I'll go down.
Okay.
Caius starts to just take his shirt off.
Anya, who has been around like warriors before, she's pretty unfazed. And she's just like, okay, do you want me to? I'll leave 6 at the orchard, okay? It's okay if you're late though.
Okay. Sure. I'll see you then. Is Bertie coming to the orchard as well, or no?
Yes. Everyone will be there, I think. Well, you'll find out when you get there.
Oh, sure. Okay, well, cool. He's just standing there holding his shirt, staring at you.
Okay, I'm gonna see you later. And she leaves.
So, Caius, you finish getting ready, and do you go down to meet Bertie?
He does.
Yeah. So, Bertie, you've been waiting probably a bit longer than you were anticipating to, but eventually you see Caius approaching. Actually, would you have been looking towards the lake or away from?
He's probably looking across the lake at this point, so he probably wouldn't notice.
Yeah, you would probably hear Caius approaching with the clanking of his armor before you saw him.
Is he wearing? Yeah.
He's wearing his armor, and he has specifically a couple of the easy to reach buckles around the side. He has specifically left them loose so that they do jangle a lot louder.
Fair enough. Yeah. So Bertie was sitting at pretty much at the lake where he scooped Caius out of, and they were laughing on the riverbank for quite some time. He's just sitting there with similar to how he was sitting when he was talking with Ross, with his knees up on his chest, his arms kind of looped around his knees, and so he does turn to look towards Caius with a bit of a start as he hears him approaching. And yeah, I guess like so Bertie looks great. He looks a little bit cooler. Like he looks slightly taller and like a little more handsome and pretty, and like his lashes a little bit longer. And it's like his shoulders are slightly broader, and he just seems to be like sparkling a bit in like the sunlight. And like he's not wearing his armor, so he's got his little backpack, but he's like wearing a pretty plain outfit for Bertie, which is like just dark breeches with like a looser tucked in shirt, and then his usual boots. But he's not like currently wearing the braces, but like looks totally fine, unless you roll higher than a 21.
That would be an investigation too, so even
Yeah.
worse. Like there's no chance.
I have a -2 modifier, so
Yeah.
no.
It's impossible. Yeah, so yeah, that's what he looks like. Yeah, and like I guess like one of his ears would flick up once it starts to pick up Caius approaching, and then he kind of like turns to look at him, looks quite awkward, I guess. I guess he will do an insight check on Caius the second that he gets in close enough range, which is 15 plus 8. So 23. What does he look like for a 23?
Caius looks like absolute shit. He's wearing his armor, but he hasn't polished it. He hasn't cleaned it since the last fight. Everything, his facial features are very drooped. He looks like he hardly slept at all. He almost looks pallid in a way. Yeah, and he's walking with slouched shoulders, and his head's kind of down a little bit.
Yeah. So Buddy kind of just observes him for a bit until the point that if he sees if Caius is looking at him directly, I suppose. But again, like, yeah, there's a bit of hesitance there, I suppose. And I suppose if he does reach to a point where Caius gets closer, he will stand up. To his entire very short height. And then, be like, hey.
Hi, Bertie. Hi.
You came.
Yes, it's very early in the morning. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. Did Anya ask you to come?
Yeah, Anya mentioned that you might be here. Yes.
Yeah, no. Cool. She said she would, so, cool. She volunteered that, not me.
Right, I was hoping to, would have spoken to you, but not spoken to you last night, but you weren't where I thought you would be. So it turns out, instead of not speaking to you, I just not spoke to Anya. Or really, Anya not spoke to herself for me. I wrote you a letter and you weren't there.
I'm sorry. I should have told everyone, I guess. No,
that's fair. Well, I mean, I can probably just say it, I guess. I was told yesterday by Anya and Rook that during yesterday's fight, I lost control, and because of that, I hurt you and Rook, and I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's okay.
No, it's not okay. That's the problem. I shouldn't. That's not what friends do, Bertie. It shouldn't have happened, and I'm appalled that it did. And you deserve so much better.
I don't know what to say. He kind of like steps a little bit closer. He's like, I mean, I have a lot to say because you know me, I talk all the time, but hey, I don't blame you. You didn't do anything wrong. I know the spell. I explained this to Neumann too. he also did that. It was an accident. I was too slow, and well, I gotta work with that. I gotta think of a better way of viewing that. But yeah. I just gotta be a bit better and a better fighter, and because that's what people need from me. So like, but I'm not mad at you. And yeah, you're right. That's not what friends do to each other. But the fact that you consider me a friend at all is pretty great. So
Why would I not? You've been there for me. You were, aside from family, you were the only one who was talking to me when everything was going on with my father. You were the only person that actually reached out at all. You've done so much for me. And why wouldn't I consider you a friend?
yeah, well, no, it's just oh, I get silly sometimes. I'm trying to, yeah, no, well, I mean, as you say, you're friends with everyone in the party, so, yeah, it's,
Well, I mean,
yeah.
Hafren's not really, but, you know.
No, well,
everyone else
that's
sort
true. Hafren's kind of an asshole.
Did I tell you I almost killed him? That was a good way to start the morning. Anyway, I get distracted.
Did that feel better?
Well, no, because I thought I actually did, and then I thought, well, that's not good, and then Anya said that I didn't, and then I got relieved and then a little bit upset.
Oh, well, that's fair. That's understandable, to be honest, buddy. Yeah, well, honestly, I wish I'd seen it. That would probably have made me pretty happy to see. I think Hafren needs to be killed a little bit more often, because, you know, it's nothing big for him, so, yeah. Well, do you still feel bad?
Well, I mean, yes. But I think what's important is that we move on as a group and we learn from it and we just hope do whatever we can to make sure that it doesn't happen again. And I know that I will be doing whatever I can to stop myself from doing whatever it is that I did and stopping whatever happened to me from happening again.
Yeah. As a group, absolutely. Yeah, sure. No, that's, yeah. Well, on that front, as I've been saying, like, I've been trying to figure out some spells and stuff. I think I've got some ideas that'll help people like you or Neumann and stuff like that, or even Rook, possibly, to, not have that spell happen, again, so that should be fine. So I'll be able to do my part for that, right? Yeah, cool. Well, yeah, sure, we'll, just have to... Yeah, I just have to move on. Cool. Well, yeah. Okay, well, cool. I guess, like, apparently you and Rook and Anya talked through it, I guess. So everything's okay now on that regard? I guess you...
I mean, I told them how I was feeling, and that was sort of it. And then they said that I should talk to you in the morning, and not at night because you probably wouldn't want that. And then that made me a little bit sad, but I understand how you might have been feeling. So, so that's why I wrote the letter instead, because I thought that'll work. But then it didn't, because you weren't there.
Yeah.
But now we're here and talking, and I think we probably should do that more. I know that I don't really, well, I mean, I talk to you about some things, but I don't really talk to anyone else, and I don't sort of tell you everything unless you're asking the questions. But that's mainly just because I don't really know what to say. But just know that I don't want to hide things from you. I think you're a really nice person. You've been very helpful to me, and you've been a great friend and traveling companion. And if there's anything that I can do to help, just let me know. I want to spend more time with you guys, and I want to spend more time with you.
Oh, well. Thank you for telling me. I get funny sometimes, so I'm glad to know that, because I like spending time with the whole group, and I like spending a lot of time with you. Do you want to sit here for a bit? I got a couple of...
might be a good idea.
Yeah, let's sit for a bit. Got a couple of questions for you, and yeah.
Caius sits at a respectable distance.
Excellent. Well, Bertie looks at Caius and then sits a little bit closer than the respectable distance, but still not very close. Awesome. And for the viewers, if they were looking at this, when Bertie sits on like the little grass, the riverbank, it frosts over a little bit, but I don't think Caius would observe that, so it's fine. But you can just picture that. Cool. He just kind of he kind of looks out into the lake for a little bit, and then he's like, well, like I said, I got a couple to say, but I guess yesterday, well, I'll talk more about that in a bit, but the Zeph thing, I'll be honest, I don't like killing anyone, and I've only had to do it in self-defense against someone who was trying to kill me, an assassin, which ironically was like a lackey, the one that tried to kill you a couple of days ago, that I killed then. And just 3 months ago, I wasn't powerful or nothing, but things were different. The worst thing I had to do was run away from some angry customers or spouses, and I don't know. It probably sounds pretty dumb to you because you've been a fighter for most of your life, but for mine, I was just the dumb merchant in the caravans you said you used to protect, so...
I think we're both in an unusual situation. You said I'm a fighter. I was a protector. That's how I was trained. That's how everything that I was doing. I hadn't killed anyone either before I met you guys. I mean, you know, a couple of wolves if they got too close, but everything else that I was doing was just trying to protect people while other people, you know, did the killing, if it needed to be done.
Yeah.
But,
yeah. That must have been that's probably been a big month for you too then.
Cass just sort of nods.
Yeah, Barry kind of just looks down a bit and he flicks his ears back and he says, and then he goes, I've been thinking a lot lately about what it might be like when this isn't what I have to become. I like selling things and I like traveling. I've done that for a long time, but I've been thinking lately it would be nice to have a proper home maybe when this is all done. I know I blabbered on about it to you before. I talk a lot of nonsense, but I never had a home. I was just left here in that tavern, and then when I left, I was just kind of staying in taverns or wherever, or, well, I just been thinking a home might be nice, and, well, I know the things that have happened lately. I know you said you want to spend time with everyone and with me, but I know you're only here for as long as you want to be, of course, and we didn't talk much about how things have been for you since the thing happened with your dad and you went back home. Pretty different from protection, I bet, so I think changing a bit is understandable. But I guess the same as I've been thinking about me lately, I've been wondering, have you got plans for after? What do you want to be when you're not here?
Kai sort of chuckles a little bit at, do you have plans for after? And he goes, well, I did. A long time ago I did. But now everything seems to have changed. And it seems like for better or worse, our merry band of individuals is going to be running around fighting gods. And I think I'll focus on after when I get there.
I think that's a good idea, but it is a lot of big stuff. Was the plans with Ravenna?
It was, yes. We were going to build a house just outside of a small village to the north of Durham, and well, I mean, we had a lot of plans, but I think having those plans made me very nervous about losing them, and then I stopped doing what I needed to do because I was worried about the after. And I'm worried that if I make plans now, I won't be able to do my job properly and fight or protect. So I think it's, for me, I think it would be good to think about after, but not until after has happened.
I think sometimes it's nice having an idea of after, even if you don't always want to let yourself think it. Because then it'll just give you an idea of why you're doing stuff, I guess. I mean, it's difficult, I guess. You've kind of been dragged into the god stuff of all the warlocks because of me. But like, yeah. I guess things would still be pretty complicated with your whole family and everything after what happened anyway, so boy howdy. Would it just be like, oh, he kind of like stretches back at me. He's like, wouldn't it just be better if we could just like if you could just run away or something like that, like just do whatever you want, like we can do whatever we want, you know? I can throw you into as many lakes as you like, and we could go on stupid long jogs and eat third lunches every day and go horse riding, and I can sell shit. I know that can't happen. Not really, but it's just nice to imagine sometimes, right? Makes things a little bit easier sometimes, even if it's not possible, you know? Oh boy. I don't know. I get silly sometimes. I think it's good to imagine sometimes.
I don't think that's a silly thought. I think it's important to have something in your head that you're looking forward to. And if that's what you want, then work on that being your after.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. And yeah, I think we can... Okay. Well... Kais.
Yes.
You said we have to move on from this as a group, yeah? So, do you know anything about Eladrin? They're not very common out of the Feywilds, but your family are elves. You're a half-elf.
Yes, no, I remember them, family telling me something
Roll
about
me,
them.
yeah, roll me a history check.
Nat 20 is a genius.
I'm also exhausted,
Bennett was
so I have
100.
disadvantage.
Oh, no.
But it's like the one intelligence
Stat that I have a
skill that
positive
you
number
have.
in, yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
That is a 9.
9. Yeah, you know, like you've heard of Eladrin. You're sure that your parents and sisters have told you things about Eladrin, but you cannot for the life of you remember any of it.
I mean, I know that Eladrin are
Like
a
they're
type of elf,
yeah.
but I don't know too much. I want to say that my family didn't really do very much study on it, but they probably did, and I might not have been paying attention.
It's okay. Most of us are from the Feywild. People Eladrin just wandering the earth isn't that common, really. I was the only person at Eladrin and Deasil for quite some time. Well, I wasn't sure how this would go, but since we're talking now and you want to talk more, and I really like that. Okay, and then he's going to warp his the disguised person he's cast on himself, which I don't know, for flavor's sake, cycles through like a birdie version of each of the party members, which is kind of like a pink tint on each of them, I guess. It eventually kind of just dissipates, and so Bertie is no longer a spring Eladrin. So Bertie usually makes himself look pale, like Caucasian, I guess. But his skin is now so pale, it's basically literally white, with just a bit of a blue undertone kind of sitting, especially hide his cheeks with fluster at the moment, I guess. And his hair is slightly longer. It's still kind of in the same style, but like a bit messier because he's looking pretty harried. And Bertie himself has also got a point of extortion. He does also look similarly a bit shit. He's got the dark circles around his eyes. Tragically, his hair is no longer pink, but a faded blue with a few white and pink hues, which kind of look like a bit like an aurora borealis or something. And his eyes, like his brows, are currently furrowed in a bit of an I guess, just anxious, I suppose. Still have that silvery gleam like stars, part of, but they're now like a vibrant sea green. And most notably, he's still wearing the same clothes, but it's now clear that there's some bruising to his arms, and most importantly, his right arm is heavily bandaged up, still a little bit bloodied, and I guess he also appears to be snowing very lightly. This is his winter season now.
And that's where we're going to leave it for this week.
Oh boy.
Thank you for listening. We'll pick
Yeah.
up
everyone.
anything left of this conversation and the training and the rest of the day next week.
Have
see
an
you next
excellent
week,
week,
everyone.
everyone.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Now we take a quick break.
That's right. We're not playing
No.
the intro anymore.
No.
Oh.
So that I can actually use these moments as stingers if if I decide to. I was losing too many good stingers because they are now included in the video version.
Oh, true. Now that's fair. Now we're never going to be funny in these again, though.
No.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
No more comedy.
We can only be funny when we know, like,
This is an incredibly serious podcast now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Gravely serious.